Sickos Club.
Sickos Club. Hey everybody, this is Blade Daily, and this is a special episode of The Hard Way. Brett Michelle can't be here, so it's going to be me and...
Hey! It's going to be you and the toast of the third coast, baby. Ripping farts and breaking hearts. It's me. It's Professor Degree. How the hell you doing, Blade?
God damn it.
So the co-host moves up to the guest host, to the main host.
Are you the main host? Is that what you're
Don't
saying?
edit that out. God damn it. The co-host has leveled up. This is like when Kirk and Spock are both gone and Scotty is in command of the Enterprise. Yeah. I'm stuck in the Jeffries tubes, bitch.
But you're not even Scottish.
No, I'm not even that big of a Star Trek fan, to be honest with you.
I don't know shit about Star Trek, to be honest.
I used to tape The Next Generation on VHS. And then I got a little bit older, and I just kind of didn't like it so much anymore. I like Star Trek in theory, and I love the 60s show. I love the 60s show, but that is probably a weed thing. Anyway, so today's episode of The Hard Way is sans host, but it is about one of the coolest pay-per-views that I've seen in a long time. The best one that I think I've watched since we started reviewing, Canadian Stampede 1997. Blade, why don't you tell us a little bit about this pay-per-view?
I don't like you bossing me around. Okay? I'm just going to tell you that. Like,
I said, why don't you? It was a question.
You think you're going to just jump over me. I've been co-hosting this show for the entire time, Mm-hmm. And I'll be Brett's bitch, but I'm not going to be yours.
You are already my bitch.
God damn you. All right. And by the way, everybody, Brett's fine.
I want you to hit a button that says "break it down" every time I say something.
I do have the Bill Goldberg button.
Bill Goldberg.
Now. And everybody was nice enough not to fucking say shit about it.
Because you know what though? Because I was listening to it in my car, and it came out of the passenger speaker, and it was so quiet I could barely even hear it.
Oh, so now you're complaining about the mix. Okay, I get it.
I liked it because it made me think that it was like a ghost in my car.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of enjoyed that. So no,
it's like Ghost Brett.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostberg.
It was Ghostberg.
Yeah,
Ghostberg.
Canadian Stampede was In Your House 16, the last In Your House with a number at the end of it. And also after this, the naming convention changed. The next pay-per-view was Ground Zero, and that would be called Ground Zero: In Your House. So they stopped the numbering, I think, because it was pointless and stupid. But Canadian Stampede was not pointless or stupid, Cadillac Margarita. In fact, 12,151 bloodthirsty fans filed in to the Canadian Airlines Saddledome during the Stampede season in Edmonton, Alberta.
Mm-hmm. It was a big deal. It was a parade and shit.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. We get in, and Vince McMahon and Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler are dressed like fucking cowboys. It's ridiculous.
And Jerry Lawler has a stupid fucking hat on.
He does.
It's like not even, it's like a dad kind of joke thing.
Yeah, and like JR just looks the same.
Yeah. He was already JR with the cowboy hat at this point, right? Okay.
Right. And Vince has a cowboy hat on and this weird vest looking, like, what the fuck are you doing?
That shirt with I don't know what that, it's like Western wear kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just some Western wear generic bullshit.
Western wear if you've never actually been in the West or seen a horse. Or you know what I mean? Like, it looked like a fucking, like a throw rug or something.
Somebody get me something that looks like a fucking horse shit on it.
I did notice, though, at the beginning, they do that for over 50 years.
Yo, God, yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, that is the beginning of Sit Down, Shut Up, and Mark Out. Like,
Oh, dude, I think you may have gotten down to the heart of something. I may have actually subliminally stolen that. Yeah.
It was like, because it wasn't, I mean, listen, there's intros for tons of shit. And I'm not actually saying, I don't think you intentionally did it. Or even if you did intentionally do it, that makes sense. But it was like, something clicked in my head where I'm just like, oh my God, it's like the same fucking cadence, you know?
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, no, it would have definitely been an accident, but that's also cool that it's actually influenced by something wrestling related.
Yeah,
so that's
I mean,
good.
It's not, like I said, it's not, and I didn't think you were ripping anybody off. It's like, it wouldn't be shocking if it just got stuck in your head.
I get what you're doing. Okay. You're just,
really not.
I'm not insinuating, but I am insinuating and saying it publicly on a show in front of everybody.
No, but what is funny though, is by the end of the intro, you're like, sit down, shut up. And then you go into this total like, well, it sounds like he's gonna puke. I'm not saying you did it on purpose. I'm just saying. Anyway.
I feel honored and touched by this entire conversation.
It's great.
Which I never want to say about a conversation we have ever again. So our English commentators are Vince McMahon, Jim Ross, and Jerry Lawler. Fuck it. Our Spanish commentators are Carlos Cabrera and Tito Santana. Our French commentators, Jean Brassard and Ray Rougeau. Doc Hendricks is our interviewer. Our ring announcer is Howard Finkel. Our referees are Tim White, Jack Doan, Earl Hebner, and little baby mullet head Mike Chioda, who looks like the kid from that meme where the kid gives the thumbs up to the camera.
That Kenny Omega did years later.
Yes.
He
Double
totally
or Nothing.
looks like that kid.
He does. Yeah. Mike Chioda as a young man. I'm fairly certain he never touched a female in his life.
Possibly not. I don't know anything about Mike Chioda. Isn't he like kind of cranky now?
He's cranky. Yeah. So he's one of those refs that,
he's always got something to say about the current product. And it's like, dude, whatever. The other note that I thought, this reminded me of this. Every time I see old WWF, especially Owen Hart's theme music, especially the WrestleMania, but that like, and every time I'm like, Willow Nightingale, you've got to change your music because I get that you're happy, but it sounds way too much like late 90s WWF. My opinion. You may not agree. I don't like to be reminded of WWF because I like Willow Nightingale.
Well, I don't think that theme song's ever changing because the crowd loves it.
The crowd loves it, yeah. But all I can think of is like it just sounds like 90s WW with the blue block logo and the yellow letters.
I kind of get it. I mean, I get where you're going with this, and
it's not a horrible song or anything. It just makes me think of WWF.
It's whatever, but yeah, it's just like so deeply associated with her now.
Yeah. Well, now you're all going to think it. And now everybody that listens to this podcast, now you're going to be thinking it. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a show, Cadillac, that I think is defined really by the crowd. The crowd is so into everything.
Yeah.
They are tearing the roof off this fucking place the entire time.
It's at the height of, well, shit. I mean, maybe it's not the height of it, but it's like, where Brett is the bad guy and Austin's on his way up. And it's that whole, like, Brett is booed in America, but he's, I guess, cheered everywhere else. Hometown fucking hero. They got the parade. And the crowd is just, like, on fire. And it's a good pay-per-view, too.
It is. Well, and it's a short pay-per-view,
it's actually like an episode of a show. It's 2 hours. Yeah,
it feels kind of like a Raw with less commercials, but like
and less
from that time. But there was very, very few promos. There aren't a lot of promos. And
it was probably going to go longer, but Ahmed Johnson was injured, so he couldn't go the full 40 minutes in that match.
Right.
So they shaved it off.
Yeah, they couldn't, and then with his Steambotion stamina, they couldn't just replace that.
Right? No.
Steambotion, that's a new word that we're going to be using. But yeah, we got a pretty good show. It was 4 matches that were on Peacock. There was a dark match before the show, and
I bet it was the Godwins.
Whet your appetites, kids. It's the Godwins versus the new Blackjacks. Blackjack Bradshaw and Blackjack Wyndham.
So like 2 really shitty hillbilly kind of gimmicks, basically.
Yeah. Well, and anything.
Hold on. The Blackjacks are cool if you're me and you like weird old wrestling and shit. But like this version of the Blackjacks was not. I don't know.
This was the moment I knew Barry Windham's career was over.
Yeah.
Where it was like, he's doing his dad's gimmick now. Like, and he had always avoided that comparison. You know, he didn't take on Mulligan as his work name because he didn't want to be Blackjack Mulligan's kid. And once he started doing this, I'm like, yeah, he doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
He's just hanging on.
And barely.
I mean, and it really lost it. You know, like he had a big gut by this point. He just wasn't the same guy anymore.
It's a shame because Barry Windham is one of my favorites from that era. I love Barry Windham. He's so fucking smooth. But
this is a Barry Windham Stand podcast.
It is. And I have often heard people say, you know, Barry Windham had a really good mind for the business. I don't know if that's how accurate that is or not, but I don't know. I just would have liked to have seen more from Barry Windham, and I never did. End of the story.
I agree. That's a great story, Cadillac.
Thanks.
I agree with you, though. I think Barry,
of course you do.
I believe, well, no, that's definitely not a fucking guarantee. But I know that Barry booked kind of in the shadows of some WCW stuff at one point. I know that he contributed a lot to the product when he was there in WCW. Barry, in my opinion, you know, he's technically been an NWA world champion, but that was long after the NWA title was really the top prize in the game. Barry should have been the NWA champion in the 80s. Mm-hmm. He was absolutely ready to, and they just didn't pull the trigger on it. You know, Barry wasn't a great promo ever, but he became a much better one as he got older.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen Barry have a title reign in WCW and a proper feud with Flair over the belt. Yeah. That would have been great.
That would have been the right thing to do. But
yes,
he's not even on this show. So
no, right. He's a new Blackjack after all.
So the first, should we just get right into the matches?
Oh, yeah, let's just jump right in.
Without Brett. So the first match is Triple H. At this point, I think he's just Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the Greenwich Blue Blood, with China, taking on Mankind. And I don't really know I remember this feud, but I don't really remember what started it. I just remember they showed that little vignette where China says, you know, you can kiss my ass. And Foley says, it's your lucky day because I'm a real good kisser.
I'm a real good kisser.
Yeah. And it was like, oh, I remember why we fell in love with that dude. Like,
Foley's so good.
Just a blast.
He's so good. This is also where Levesque belongs on the card.
Yes.
And he's really great in this role. And the way this is...
Well, I think Shane Ethos had mentioned something about his comedic timing. And he's totally right. Like in this, Triple H is good in this match. Like you said, it's not just where he belongs on the card, but like this is what he's capable of and what he excels at, actually.
Well, and you notice there's some big differences. He's not 50 pounds of muscle heavier.
True.
So he can fucking move without injuring himself.
Yeah.
And he's an upper mid-card heel. And I would have had no problem with Triple H in the main event under the right circumstances. But they didn't get to the right circumstances for like 15 years. So this match was set up because Hunter Hearst Helmsley won the King of the Ring thanks to China screwing over Mankind.
Okay.
And that was how this whole thing started.
They probably explained that in the video, and I just wasn't paying attention.
And you know what? I'm used to that from you. You're just here. Cashed out. Yeah, that's why I'm here, the serious one, doing the work.
And I'm here to say things like Mick Foley kind of always used to remind me of when you see a little toddler with a really full diaper and they're stretching their tights, and like it's kind of like you can kind of almost see through the tights. That's what Mick Foley always looked like in the Mankind gear. And I'm not trying to insult him. I'm just saying he was soft. He was soft. He had a soft ass.
Mick Foley and his soft ass.
I know. His fucking big old diaper butt just rolling around with Triple H.
I'm a big baby. So these two they have a good match. It's a fun match. It's a fun little brawl. And China is constantly interfering on behalf of Hunter Hearst Helmsley. But instead of having her cost Mankind the match, they fight for 13 minutes and then they inexplicably kind of get counted out. And they brawl into the crowd.
Yeah, so it was just a double count out and then that was it. And then they keep going out into the crowd. But I didn't feel like dissatisfied at the end. It was just like,
I didn't either.
Well, okay, they just rolled out into the crowd and it was fine. This is like I said, I just kept thinking about how much I really loved Mick Foley. It's been a while since I've watched any matches, and like that process of doing the interviews and the Dude Love flashbacks and all of that, and just how it all played into like him really just breaking new ground on that character. And it was so much fun, you know? And the whole like what the fuck even is Mankind? You know what I mean? Like he's like a WWF, the old kind of WWF gimmicks gone wrong, where it's like he's just brown. He's got a mask, but the mask looks like shit. He's got a symbol, but you can't tell what it is. It's like an ankh and one of those, the P with the X that is at like a Catholic altar, you know? And like,
yeah,
he's like the basic cigarette where it's like, oh, this is the tobacco we swept up off the factory floor and we just rolled it up together.
Yeah.
But he makes it work. What's that?
A GPC cigarette.
Yeah,
like,
or
it's just
old gold. But it's like, I remember in his book, he says something about how whenever other people do crazy gimmicks, they scream and yell. So he was quiet. And it's kind of the same thing with this, where it's like, you know, you add these layers to Mankind where it's not just that he's a crazy monster. It's like, hey, he's a fucking broken-hearted kid, man. He just wanted to be Shawn Michaels. And it's like, I don't know. That's cool. We could definitely relate to that back then, you know?
100%. I think, honestly, the things that stand up the best about this period of WWF over 25 years of time, almost 30 years of time, actually. That's crazy. But, you know, 28 years ago, this show happened.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. But
we got this pay-per-view too. I remember this is like the first when I started getting like super hard back into wrestling. This was the first pay-per-view we got.
And the two performers that stand up the best are Steve Austin and Mick Foley to me, because I think a lot of the Rock's jokes don't age well because they were for homophobic teenage boys.
Exactly.
And none of the DX stuff aged well at all. Nope. So really, but there's a timelessness to Mankind that I think will always come through because he added so many dimensions to the character, and then McMahon allowed him to continue adding more.
Yeah.
Once he saw the potential of the character, because he's obviously supposed to be channeling like the Hunchback of Notre Dame or whatever, you know, where he's
or Leatherface or something. And
it's like some weird combination of these things, right? So it's like Leatherface, the Hunchback, you know, that's why he's kind of in the Catholic, you know, whatever thing. And I remember seeing the promos. I knew instantly who it was, you know, before we ever saw his face. You know, I was like, that's Cactus Jack. That's wild. I was pissed because I like Cactus Jack, the gimmick, a lot. It's one of my all-time favorite gimmicks.
Yeah, he's great.
Because it was so original, you know? And I remember Jim Ross one time at WCW calling a Cactus Jack match, and he goes, today I asked Cactus Jack what his favorite color was, and he said light black. I mean, it was just, you know, it was just always like some weird anecdote that they would come up with about Foley. But yeah, and then really this started a feud that would go on for the rest of Foley's, you know, initial career.
Yeah.
Where these guys feuded all the way up to 2000.
Yeah, up to Triple H getting the belt, because that's who he gets the belt from, right?
He gets it from Foley. His first title win is from Foley, and then he feuds with him over the title at Royal Rumble 2000, and then Foley's last match as a full-timer is at WrestleMania 2000. So, yeah, you know, these guys would end up a month later at SummerSlam. They had a cage match.
Okay.
And that was the first time Mick Foley ever took his mask off because he had been telling the Dude Love story a little bit, I think. And he takes his mask off and he jumps off the top of the cage because he had said seeing Jimmy Snuka jump off the top of the cage. And he drops an elbow on Triple H from the top of the cage. And that was the first time Mankind was presented as like, hey, we're going to push this guy. He's actually going to get a real deal push. He got pushed right at the beginning as like the first guy to like make the Undertaker look like weak.
Right. That Boiler Room brawl was really good.
It was. Yeah. I've seen it a little more recently. I mean, it's definitely been surpassed many times over by other things, but for its time, it was breathtaking and original.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, these two, it ends in a double countout. They do end up back in the crowd after the next match at one point, and then...
Oh, yeah, I didn't know if we wanted to get, like, do we want to just get into that as it happens? Because they come back, like, 3 or 4 times, right?
Right. Okay.
I mean, I don't... Whatever.
Fuck you, man.
I like... no. Honestly, no. Fuck you. Okay. I also like the part where Jim Ross calls Mankind the Prime Minister of Parts Unknown. I thought that was a good line. And also, fuck you, too.
Oh, thank you.
He got a taste of his own medicine, and he didn't digest it very well. That was another good line.
The next match is really fun because the best
you
part...
missed out on the parade video.
Oh, shit, you're right.
There was a big video of a parade. Okay, go on.
I was drinking water, you prick.
Good. No, there was a line literally a mile long to get autographs from the Hart Foundation. What else? Then the Hart Foundation are backstage and Steve Austin comes in to interrupt them, and Brett's like, no, don't do it, because if you do it, it'll be 5 on 1. We don't want to do that. We want to wait, we want to be even and fair.
Yeah. And Austin's like basically barking like a fucking dog at these guys, dude, and Pillman and cool Owen and everybody wants to just take him out right there. And Brett's like being really calm.
I got these cool round sunglasses on.
Yeah. He had the wraparounds on, but they were like up on his head.
Right.
Yeah. And he's wearing the wraparounds because they're in Alberta. So he's the babyface. So the second match, and this was a very fun match to watch again. But the funnest part...
I watched this whole pay-per-view twice, actually.
I did too. I was watching it last night and I fell asleep watching it. Mm-hmm. And it was just late and I was just tired. But so I saw like parts of the first 2 matches and then I watched the rest of the show today and watched... Then I circled back to these matches. So it's Great Sasuke, the junior heavyweight legend, taking on Taka Michinoku. And listening to these guys try to talk with any degree of comfort about Japanese wrestling is fucking hilarious.
I was waiting for you because the whole time they're calling him Sasuke. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not right. And then I'm like,
Great Sasuke.
We're going to see some Japanese wrestling tonight.
Then that's the thing. They have there's no comfort in the way they're calling this.
And there's a couple points. At least Jim Ross tries to make a joke like, well, I didn't graduate from my Japanese classes in West Virginia. It's like,
yeah.
He just, at least he tried, but Jesus. And then even worse is just, my notes say, I don't think they pronounced either of their names the same way twice.
Right. Jim Ross at one point is talking about Taka Michinoku, and he's like, Taka Michinoku favors the Michinoko driver. And I'm like, you said his name correctly, and then you said it incorrectly right afterwards. Like,
and
what are you doing?
It's sort of like saying that Lou Gehrig had Lou Gehrig's disease, because of course he favors his own fucking move that's named after him, Jim.
Yeah.
What a samurai warrior.
Oh my God. That cracked me up. So Vince is like avoiding all the Japanese, tropes. The whole match, he's really trying to lay out. At one point, Jerry Lawler tries to make an astute observation that the Japanese fight with their feet, as you might recall from the famous Antonio Inoki Muhammad Ali match.
I think he brought up in a different pay-per-view where they also had Taka Michinoku.
That had been 20 years previous to this.
No one knew what that was.
It's also famously one of the most disappointing, boring matches of all time.
Right.
So,
yeah, because wasn't it like he thought that Muhammad Ali was going to shoot on him, so he like made sure he couldn't or something?
It was
that's what
weird.
I have heard. I don't know.
I think they tried to change the finish at the last minute or something, and then at one point it was definitely going to be worked. And then they couldn't come up with a satisfactory finish, and one side threatened to shoot. I think it was Inoki.
Okay.
Threatened to shoot because he would have killed Ali probably. And then I think in order to allay the worries of the Ali camp, he wrestled on his back pretty much.
Okay.
And he just kicked from his back the entire match.
Everybody hated it.
Those leg kicks that he did are said to have lasted, permanently impacted his mobility.
Really?
Ali's. Yeah.
Holy shit.
That he got kicked so many times in the legs. For real.
Looks like you should have...
You can't work those kicks. Like, if you work them, they look just fake as hell.
Terrible,
so
it's really a shame because there was... I don't remember what we reviewed a while back, and Taka was on. And it's like... They just did this really half-assed attempt at doing a cruiserweight division, and even when they had a belt, like it just even when the belt was like a big deal, it never felt like it was a big enough deal. You know what I mean? Right. But this point in time, it was like we've got 3 luchadors, and they're going to go for a cruiserweight belt. And actually, 2 of them are Japanese, but we just don't know the difference because we don't know anything outside of American wrestling.
Right, they're foreign.
It's just I don't know. They just never really tried in the WWF.
Yeah, and it was the light heavyweight title. Yeah. Cruiserweight was Nitro. That was Eric Bischoff made cruiserweight kind of a ubiquitous term,
Even years later, when they brought it back and fucking Pac won it, and it was like they never really, I don't know. Maybe just don't even bother, guys.
Well, then they did 205 Live, and there were so many good matches on that show, especially when Pac was the champion. Yeah. And he was going through his like monster heel run where he was just running through everybody. Him and Mustafa Ali, I remember, had just an incredible match. But when he was basically unbeatable, and then they had Enzo beat him. Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ.
But either way, this was a cool match.
And it's a classic example of WWF in certain ways has done things the same forever, where they introduced Taka and Sasuke with like all this hype and all this notoriety. And then within 2 or 3 months, like they're just Taka's a mid-carder, he's just a nobody on the card.
Yeah, within 2 months, they're backstage flirting with Tori Wilson, and that's like the most you're going to get, or whatever.
And Kai and Tai is going to become a thing, and they're going to do the racist, like Japanese overdubbing, the English overdubbing by Bruce Pritchard of them. I mean, Jesus Christ. So
just don't bother.
Really great back and forth match. At one point, Sasuke, who was kind of known to do this from time to time, just kicks Taka right in the face. He does a spin kick to him while he's in the corner on his back, and he kicks him right in the head.
Like, fuck you, kid.
JR's like, I'd like to see another shot of that. And I'm like, is Taka dead?
Yeah.
Like
he just kicked him for real.
Yeah, he just kicked him right in the fucking face, like right in the forehead. So if that wasn't a shoot kick, he made it look like a shoot kick. Yeah. It looked vicious, and Taka's head whipped in a way that made me think, no, that was for real.
Yeah, that happened.
After, a lot of great back and forth action, Sasuke wins with the Tiger Suplex.
And that's when, is it before the win or after where we see Foley and Helmsley?
I think it's after.
In the parking lot. And that's all parking lot stuff at that point.
Yes.
Okay.
There's parking lot stuff. And at some point, Helmsley's bleeding. He bladed. They actually did a blade job, which they never did in WWF, except in the Stone Cold match.
I was going to say it's the only one I can think of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they weren't supposed to, but they did it. And then Brett just said, find where I bladed. Find where Austin bladed.
Right. What about Piper and Bret Hart? Didn't somebody?
That was another example of them going into business.
We're not going to let Vince know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we're going to get away with it.
Watch that match and tell me where he blades. I mean, I've tried to find it. It doesn't
It's
can.
fucking great. That's great.
It's so Bret is the fucking man.
Yeah, dude. Bret Hart really is the man.
He's the fucking man,
really,
dude.
like, I love going back and watching this stuff and seeing how fucking great Bret is. And, like, just such an effective heel.
He was such a good heel. 97
really
is Bret's best year until the screw job.
Right.
And that's the other irony of this whole thing. We're 3 months away from the screw job.
There is a point in the main event where Jim Ross says, "Hey, there's a camera crew out here and they're filming a biography of Bret Hart's life." And I was like, "Holy shit, it's Beyond the Mat, right?"
It's Game of Shadows.
Or Game of Shadows. I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Wrestling with Shadows.
Wrestling with Shadows. Game of Shadows. Yeah, Wrestling with Shadows.
Game of Shadows is a good name. That should be another podcast that we do.
Yeah, exactly. It should be about me just telling you to fuck yourself.
It's actually like a covert group of ninjas that I've hired to kill you. And it's
is it Antifa?
Maybe.
Are you claiming allegiance to Antifa on the air right now?
I'm the leader.
Oh my God. They got your girlfriend. Did you hear this? Christy Noam said they got the girlfriend of the leader of Antifa.
They do,
so,
yeah. Well, don't tell my wife.
Yeah, I'm not. I won't.
Next up, Paul Bearer with a hair color that is very similar to a hair color that I had in high school when I got cheap Clairol hair dye and tried to dye my brown hair blonde, and it turned out sort of peanut buttery.
Yeah.
And he is talking about The Undertaker murdering his family. And dude, Paul Bearer is awesome in this. He was fantastic in this promo. Like, this Paul Bearer is what brought the Kane story and made it happen. Oh, yeah.
When he like rejects the mortician shit and he just goes like straight dickhead corporate sellout Paul Bearer.
And he's always like making this face like he's sucking on a lemon or something. Like, he's so good, dude.
It's very Southern wrestling, over the top heel shit.
Yeah.
And it absolutely works. Like, I love this promo with Vader. He's managing Vader, who's going to challenge The Undertaker for the WWF Championship.
Right. And it was supposed to be Ahmed, right?
Yes. And they're nice enough, and I have no idea why, but they are nice enough to show us that Ahmed Johnson was the man who was originally supposed to challenge The Undertaker.
Right.
He had joined the Nation of Domination, but he injured his knee. They show the knee injury happening, and they say Vader's the replacement. Now, to me, Vader push-wise hadn't been booked very strong.
No, not at this point. But goddamn, that's a better match than we would have got with Ahmed.
Yes.
Like,
this match, you could say it's positively Steambotion compared to the match that Ahmed Johnson and Undertaker would have had.
Could you define Steambotion for the viewers at home? The viewers?
Yeah. It's named after wrestling great Ricky Steamboat and his Steambotion level of stamina to work a 60-minute match effortlessly, which he was known to do. You could name it after Ric Flair, but everything's named after Ric Flair, so I thought I'd go the other direction.
Steambotion. The great thing, too, is that his real name is Dick Blood.
It is. Richard Blood.
But
yeah.
That's a fucking sweet name. Maybe not, but...
Do you know why he didn't use it?
Name. Do I know why he didn't use it?
Yeah.
Because it's Dick Blood. That's horrifying, and you wouldn't really want to use that, maybe?
That's true. That is true. He looked like Sam Steamboat, who was another wrestler, and they just claimed some familial connection between the two of them.
There's actually no relation?
None.
I don't know if I've ever actually seen Sam Steamboat. I've only seen the name. But of course, because everybody's a cousin in wrestling. Like, Ric Flair was cousins to the Andersons. You're actually my third cousin twice removed.
I know.
And that's how I got to be on this podcast.
God fucking damn it.
And Bret is also our cousin, but it's a different family tree. Because it's wrestling, and that's how wrestling used to work. Everybody was related.
Right.
But not really.
And also, somebody else did wrestle in the NWA as Richard Blood.
Oh. Well, then there you go.
And you know who that person would go on to be known as?
No.
Tito Santana.
No shit, really?
For real.
Wow, and he was on commentary tonight. Right? Wow.
Full circle,
Full
bitches.
circle, motherfuckers.
Full circle. Look what we just did to you, motherfuckers.
That's right. All
you
things
lucky
follow the
ass
path of the beam.
motherfuckers. We did it.
So, Undertaker got a very big pop when he came out, and he was wearing his Hellraiser kind of gear.
Yep. I like this era of the Taker.
Me too.
97's one of my favorite years of Undertaker.
The belt, the old winged eagle looks a little small on him in this situation. That's the only, like, that belt kind of needed to be beefed up. I don't know why it looks so little, but maybe he's just too tall.
And why?
Vader, I'm looking at all of my notes are about Vader's mask look extremely uncomfortable.
Yep.
And I feel, okay, so it's 1997, and it's like there's a part where Vince McMahon says, oh, he's opening up a can of whoop, you know what? And like the crowd seems like it's the first time they've ever been able to give the middle finger in front of a camera, and they're so ecstatic. And it's like, fuck, dude, I watched a man drink another man's blood at a pay-per-view last year. You know? But these folks, it's like they said but, and it was like, oh, scandalous.
Ooh, edgy.
That's what life was like in 1997.
They opened up a can of you-know-what.
Yes.
And this match is really good. These two, this was long before The Undertaker was known as a guy who had great matches with people. He had primarily wrestled big dudes. Vader is not in good shape here. He physically doesn't look great.
No, he looks rough.
He's heavier than I've seen him. His face looks like completely smashed by his mask.
He just doesn't look comfortable in this match. Like
no, and I think, he's at this point he's walking on eggshells with management, and he knows it.
Yeah.
But these guys have a great back and forth. It's very physical. And Vader is still, despite being heavier, and, we're not body shaming here. It's just a fact of life. He's a very big boy at this point. He can still move like a motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Vader is one of the greatest super heavyweights of all time. I know people like have this affinity for Yokozuna and stuff, but I'm like, nah.
No.
Vader dances circles around that shit.
I'm a huge Yokozuna fan. I was a huge Yokozuna fan back then even. But like, no, if we're talking about like, total body of work, it's Vader. It's definitely Vader.
Right. Yoko was a big deal for like 2-3 years and, then got literally too big to move, basically. Mm-hmm. And Vader, after this, would leave WWF and go to All Japan and win the Triple Crown, in the highest work rate promotion in the world at the time. So they have a match. It goes about 12 and a half minutes, and Undertaker shows some really impressive power in this match. Mm-hmm. I was legitimately surprised.
There's a point where it looked like he was going to drop him, maybe a couple points, but he doesn't.
Right.
He looks good. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool match. And so this is a tangent that I'm going to go on now. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I read an interview once with Leslie Nielsen, star of Airplane and the Naked Gun films. Someone asked him, the Naked Gun is basically just the Police Squad TV show, and they made a movie out of it, right? And it recycles a lot of the same jokes. And someone asked him, why do you think it was such a big hit as a movie, but it was such an utter failure on television? And he said, on television, in a movie theater, you're sitting there, it's dark, you're enraptured, you're paying attention, you're paying money to pay attention. When you're watching television, you're waiting for the laugh track to come in, tell you when to laugh so you can look up from your newspaper. Why am I telling this story about Leslie Nielsen? Because, and I don't mean this with disrespect, that's an Undertaker match. You're not watching it because you're waiting to see him bust out this fucking amazing armbar, crazy triangle hold. I guess he did do that later on. You're just watching it to see him hit the big moves, and it's cool, and he does it. And that's what's always cool. Like, that's what I like about The Undertaker.
Yeah,
he has to be better, but for what he
has an incredible aura, about him. It's just one of those guys. And he's a guy who inhabited fully a gimmick that could have been a death sentence for somebody's career.
Big time. And so that's what I thought of while I was watching this match. It's like it all finally congealed. And now that's my opinion on The Undertaker, and I never have to talk about him again.
I'm pretty sure you're going to have to talk about him
The end.
again.
Never going to talk about him ever again because I've cemented my opinion on him now and I know who he is.
Okay. Well, we'll wait till next episode.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll see. The next episode is going to be full gear because it's going to be sit down the hard way. So I'm not going to have to talk about The Undertaker. And I don't give a shit what the fuck you say or do. I'm going to walk out of the room if you start talking about The Undertaker.
Okay. All right. All right.
I'm done.
So tune in next week and listen to Cadillac Margarita throw a fucking diva tantrum.
It's a professor degree. Because I got a PhD in pain and a doctorate in destruction. I forgot to say that at the beginning when I was talking about ripping farts. God damn it.
A PhD in pain and a doctorate in... Okay.
It's alliteration. I was going to do that because Brett likes alliteration.
She's not thought you were just going to say illiterate, and I was going to be like, that makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Alliteration, but I'm not going to do it because Brett's not here. But next week when she's back,
you already just did it.
Fuck you. That was for the people at home, not for you. I'm going to do it for you next week.
Because Brett's here?
I like Brett. I don't like you.
Yeah, I don't like you either.
She likes alliteration. So it's like, because when you have friends,
see. You're doing it for me. You're doing it at me for Brett.
Well, I was going to do it for Brett because when you have friends, Blade, you would know this. But if you do have friends, you learn things about them and you're like, oh, they like that thing. I'm going to do this because they enjoy that because I'm their friend and I want to make them happy. Whereas with you, I just talk and I know you don't like that. So that's why I'm talking so much this episode. I don't usually talk this much, but
friends just sound like a lot of work to me.
Yep.
Just a lot of work. And, Bobby Heenan put it best. A friend in need is a pest. You know what I mean?
Oh, friends. So, I thought you said that I sounded like a lot of work. I'm sorry.
I mean, you do. I mean, you do.
Fucking effortless, maybe. Effortless.
Not you. Okay.
It takes. You have no idea.
Yeah,
no idea.
Exactly. Your wife is literally holding you together.
Basically, yes.
She's like your clamp in life, where she's just.
It's like you know her so well, and having never met her, it's amazing.
It really is.
Paul Bearer is the leader of Antifa, but go on.
God damn it! I knew it.
Next up,
I fucking knew it. Paul Bearer is also
Vader
never
did
stops
not win
being.
The belt.
Vader did not win the belt.
I'm talking. Go ahead.
Okay. So
Next was the Canadian
fuck
national
you.
anthem.
Fuck you, friend. Fuck you, pal. So yeah, Undertaker beats Vader. Definitely a match worth seeing, though. Every one of these matches is solid.
Yeah, it was like a really, really good episode of some wrestling show that didn't exist.
It would have been like the Dynamite of that time.
Kind of, yeah. Because there's very little interviews and, well, there's more interviews nowadays on Dynamite. But anyway, next up is the Canadian national anthem sung by these ladies whose eyebrows were very, very, very plucked.
Yes.
And maybe, I don't know who they were, the farmer's daughter, I think they were.
I believe you're correct.
So there you go. Maybe like a Canadian Dixie Chicks, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, something. They like all like blew like a tuning thing, and then they sang.
They had like the finger in the ear, like woo, 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 woo.
They sounded just like that too. They sounded just like that.
Wow, I didn't even try to make my voice crack.
Woo, woo, woo.
Next up, we have the main event.
Fucking Jesus, Robert Goulet, kiss my ass.
No shit. Oh, you know what? Brett hasn't been here to announce who the referee is for every single match. That's usually something that happens.
Well, I did list them off at the beginning, but
I wasn't listening. Next up,
we
have Stone Cold Steve Austin, red hot. The world is turning. Good guys are getting booed and bad guys are getting cheered. So he teams up with the Road Warriors, Ken Shamrock, and Goldust to take on the entire Hart Foundation.
Which is Bret the Hitman Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Owen Hart, British Bulldog, and Brian Pillman.
And Brian Pillman. Who doesn't seem like he fits, but
it's weird, awesome. Because he was trained by the Harts.
Right.
So I know that's why he's there.
Right.
And he wrestled in Stampede in the 80s before he went to the NWA. But yeah, Brian's not Canadian.
Yeah.
I was happy for him because it gave him something to do because he really could not go in the ring the way he once had.
No.
Because
he looks good here for about 3 minutes and then he very quickly tags out. And that's it. That's like all he does.
And he was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Wrestling. He was trying to just make as much money as he could because he knew his future in the business wasn't going to be very long as a wrestler. And that was not at a time where like personalities just got a ton of money. Now they do.
Right.
You know, now you could be a manager and make a ton of money, but it was a lot different back then.
Mm-hmm.
So
and it's a shame. I mean, the whole thing is a shame because he did have a shit ton of personality. And my memories of him in WCW were, you know, his matches are always great. And at this point, he's like, it's all congealed. Like he's got a cool look. His fucking hair is awesome. He's just a huge asshole and like the whole loose cannon thing.
Yep.
And it's just, it's like, man, what could have been, I guess. But
well, it was kind of an industry defining gimmick, you know. I mean, Brian Pillman was the Attitude Era before the Attitude Era,
for sure.
And I think he had a big influence on where things went as well, in addition to ECW and other factors. But I think that, you know, I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin is functionally the Sandman who can cut a promo, you know. But anyway, this is the match where the crowd really makes the match. They are into every fucking stupid thing the Hart Foundation does. Arm drag, crowd's going ape shit. Yeah. You know, Stu Hart's on camera for 1 second. The crowd, just erections everywhere.
Yeah.
Just out of respect too. It's a respect erection. That's the best kind, right? You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, ideally,
when I'm a hobbled 85-year-old man, I'll hope that I'll get a respect erection.
You can still get a respect erection.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like I'm just trying to come up with the joke that I can make that I could get away with saying, and I just don't think it exists.
I recommend against it.
Foul, whatever it is.
Yeah, I recommend against it.
So I'm just not going to say anything.
Also, Bruce Hart, who is famously known for going into business for himself
and for
in
not
these moments,
sitting down at any fucking point in this goddamn pay-per-view, dude.
Cannot have a camera on him and just do what he's supposed to do. Like,
look at me. Hey,
you read Brett's book, and it's like so many of these brothers do not like each other, you know, and Bruce is the worst.
15 of them, dude. There's so many fucking Harts. One of them is named Smith because they could not come up with any more names.
Right.
Like,
he was named Smith. He's dead now.
Oh, he is? I'm sorry. My apologies to his family. I did not know.
Disrespect the dead.
I don't know that much about the Hart family.
Okay. Well, now you do. Now you know more.
I did read Brett's book, and it's really good.
Yeah. Well, maybe you skipped over the part where Smith died.
Maybe I did.
Or maybe he died after.
I don't think he died in the book. Yeah.
He didn't.
I certainly remember the part where they all pissed on Ric Flair's bed, though, because that's not really the part that you forget in a book.
Yeah. No, it's a pretty pronounced part of the book. It's a 10-man tag team match.
Yeah.
And yes, every time the camera pans over to the Hart family, Bruce is just sitting there with shades on, like doing anything he can to take attention away from everybody else. I think at one point he starts trying to brawl with Austin more than he's supposed to, and Austin's just like, "What are you doing, son?"
Towards the end of it, yeah. And it's like, we're not booking you, dude.
Yeah, chill the fuck out. Chill the fuck out.
It's like it's that feud with Jerry Lawler and his Knights went to his head or something. He couldn't get enough.
The house would be sold out if I was on it.
The irony is that there's a huge sign in the crowd, and it's in pink and black letters, and it says "Family Values," and I'm like, these people hate each other. Every one of them.
No wrestling family should be held up for family values in any respect. But it's just a fun match. I wouldn't say anything overly crazy, other than the Hart Foundation is playing into being baby faces very heavily. And that was different because they were such detestable heels everywhere else. And, the crowd is booing Austin and Shamrock and Goldust and the Legion of Doom. I would say Austin is doing some heel shit.
Austin's riling up the crowd at one point.
He's riling them up.
He's looking at the crowd and kind of getting like, come on, come on. But even like Brett is still, it's like he's getting the face cheers and everybody's, the hometown heroes, but he's not a humble hero. He's very, he still seems arrogant and he's still a dick, and he's like, look at me, I'm getting cheered. See, which just makes him even worse,
I'm your dick. I'm your dickhead. Yeah. And so
he's really good in like he pulled the whole whatever, cheered in some areas, booed in others. He did it really well.
Yes. And the Hart Foundation, so during the match, Austin pulls Owen into the corner, balls first, basically into the steel post, wraps his leg around the ring post and hits it with the chair several times. And Brett knocks the chair out of Austin's hand, and Brett's like, he's hurt. And Owen limps to the back with some help.
Yeah.
And then just a short time later, Brett does the ring post figure 4 to Austin and hits his knee with a chair. Austin has to go to the back. They're gone. More, Davey Boy Smith has a fun moment here where he's really playing into the crowd, and you see the intensity of Davey Boy Smith, which you didn't always see.
No.
I will go to my grave saying Davey Boy could have been a bigger deal than he was. I think he was a great wrestler. I don't think he should have been like world champion or anything because he wasn't focused enough. But
I was going to say what's missing, and it's like it's just focus, right? It's just
focus
that's missing.
Him fucking around with drugs,
Yeah, because I remember when he went over to WCW and thinking it was the coolest thing because it didn't often happen where you got a star of that caliber and treated him the right way. He didn't become like a goofy, like a stupid gimmick, whatever. And he was feuding with Vader, and it like would have made perfect sense for him to win their belt. And I
would have
presumed drugs is the reason why he didn't. Or maybe they thought he was going to leave. I don't know, but. Yeah, it would have made sense. I don't know. Yeah, it's like he's that guy that's always on that cusp of, well, you maybe could have been more. I don't know. If they would have had 2 world championships like they do now, he could have gotten the second best one. Right? There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys in this match that should have been the second best world champion, including Owen Hart, including Goldust. Even Ken Shamrock could have been the second best consolation.
He could have been
champion.
He could have been. He could have had that burnt pizza ass looking title that they got now. That
burnt pizza.
That's what it looks like.
It does now. With
they
like
left the big gold belt in the oven too long.
Yeah, and it like crisped up and it got a little it shrunk.
Yeah, it shrunk, and then they embossed a WWE logo over the top of it. Like,
oh, it's so bad.
It's such an abomination of a title belt. Even when they try to introduce a new design and stuff, it's so bad.
Yeah, it's not.
It's real bad.
It's bad.
So they, a really fun match. Austin eventually makes his way back down. Then Owen Hart makes his way back down. And it just kind of becomes a Pier 6 brawl at one point. Everybody's fighting.
Oh, well, go ahead.
Austin, is reaching outside the ring, trying to interfere and grab Bret Hart, I believe. And Owen just rolls him up in a basic ass pin.
Well, and I feel like that's when Bruce Hart got into it.
It is.
Outside.
It is.
There's all these points through the match where, I think Goldust gets caught in the Hart Foundation corner. And they all just start beating on him, and then all the good guys come in, or the bad guys, I guess. And then they do it on the opposite side, I think, with Owen, and then all the Hart Foundation. And it's like, and this was what I think the whole pay-per-view felt like, especially this match, obviously. But you always just had this feeling of like, I don't know what the fuck's happening. Mankind and Triple H are still out there fighting somewhere in a parking lot. Like, there was just this pure chaos the whole pay-per-view. And then by the time you finally get to the main event, it's just like, it can't even contain it in the ring anymore, and it's just busting out. And then it just, it ends up with a really weird finish, but quite a brawl.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those matches. It's not an elimination match. So it's 10 people trying not to get pinned, right? And those matches always end up feeling like a clusterfuck at some point, right?
I didn't think it was a bad finish though, because I like
not at all. No, it was fine.
I like a sneaky roll up, and you don't see it as often, so it's cool.
Well, and quite honestly, to pin Austin at that point, where he is indisputably, it's been a year now since the King of the Ring promo. You know, he has stayed on top popularity wise, and there's nothing you can deny about that. A month later, he would wrestle Owen Hart for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam, and that's where he sustained a terrible neck injury that would derail him for several months and then eventually end his career much earlier than he probably would have wanted. But
and turn him into a punch kick guy.
He definitely became a punch kick brawler type. But also, you know, Austin hits a stunner on Pillman at one point, and this, I had forgotten, the stunner wasn't like, they didn't have the art of the stunner perfected yet, you know, where you bounce up afterwards and you ultra sell it, you know. Pillman takes it and just kind of falls straight down, you know, and it just, you know, they were still figuring out, Stone Cold is still very much a work in progress at this point. I think 96 was like Vince created a monster. With, you know, the Austin 316 letting him win the King of the Ring. You know, I think that really got so much bigger than anything Vince thought would happen. And then there's people bringing Austin signs to the events for months after that, before Austin really starts getting any kind of notable push. And then Bret Hart wrestles him at Survivor Series. And it's really from Austin constantly antagonizing Bret Hart that he gets over the most. And Bret is the reason that Steve Austin is who Steve Austin is.
Sure.
Because he played the whiny baby face
to Austin,
that Austin antagonized and became the anti-hero by antagonizing, and Bret became a heel.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, what you just said, the whiny thing is totally what got it, because Austin was fucking obviously no nonsense, you know? No excuses.
And was different. It was really, really different. And it's that is the Attitude Era happening right there.
Well, this episode, at the end of the pay-per-view, Austin comes back out.
Yes.
And again, defining the guy. Every member of the Hart Foundation is in the ring. Their parents are in the ring.
Yes.
Obviously, Bruce is in the ring. You know, that motherfucker's going to get into it. The kids are in the ring. You know, whatever.
He'll beat up one of the kids if he has to.
Austin
I mean, if it gets...
he'll beat up his own child.
Right.
Austin comes in with the fucking chair, doesn't give a shit. The cops have to handcuff him, and that's where you get the, like, Austin handcuffed, walking out with the head and the middle fingers. Like, it's literally the building blocks of the Attitude Era. It's cool. It was cool to see this one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's it's one of the reasons that I've always felt like what they did to Bret with the screw job was so egregious, is like, motherfucker, like him going like, you know, saying like, remember when he gets screwed in the match with Sid? He won the world title the night before, and then he loses it in the cage match because Stone Cold hit him with the chair.
Right.
And he's like, this is fucking bullshit, or whatever he says. Like, you wouldn't have the Attitude Era without Bret Hart. Period.
That's
period.
There's the catalyst.
And it's just so shitty that he's the disposable one. And like, they couldn't afford to pay him, which was bullshit. They just didn't want to.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, be real. They didn't want to pay him.
And then he goes to WCW and nothing. And then his fucking brother dies. And
it's just hell on earth for the poor guy for the rest of his career and long after. And so, you know, Bret, he was my GOAT for decades. And I've finally decided Kenny Omega is my GOAT. And I feel like that's a fair successorship, right? Bret's my number 2 still.
Well, they're both Canadian.
They're both Canadian, yes.
So that you keeping some lineage there.
Yeah, yeah.
And Kenny Omega is also like kind of the greatest professional wrestler on the planet.
Ever.
Yeah. There's that.
He's like a freak athlete that there's one of one, you know?
Right.
Like him and Ospreay are probably the closest to each other, and Will Ospreay's been the best wrestler in the world at various times, you know?
Yeah,
like
Will Ospreay, cover your ears. At this juncture on this day is probably the best wrestler in the world. Sorry.
Right.
Kenny's just an older man now.
Well, and Kenny can't do some of the shit that he always did because the style he wrestled was so taxing on his body.
And then the diverticulitis.
Yeah. The diverticulitis.
The what?
The diverticulitis.
Wow. That was
you can't see the face I'm making right
effort to make that work.
No, that's not the correct use of steambotion.
No,
but,
it's not. But you know what? The language is alive and always evolving and always changing. That's why we spell, like, mountain is now spelled MTN, like Mountain Dew, because it's evolving, Blade. And so
we just don't like steambotion. We don't like vowels anymore.
Like how people say
was just created today.
Like, you know how people say literally to use, like, they use it in a way that means the exact opposite of literally, and now I think literally just means whatever that is, like not real.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like that. So I'm just changing what steambotion means at the end of the show.
I just created it today.
You've been
so maybe like give
You've
it
been workshopping it. Come on.
Give it. Well, okay.
He was on Wednesday. Come on.
Yeah, come on. All right. Yeah, got me.
That's good stuff.
That's good shit, pal. Such good shit. But Degree, yes. I can't say I enjoyed this. I don't like you. But
no.
That was Canadian Stampede. Like we said, it's a very straightforward show.
It's 2 hours long.
Really fun. It's like one of the only pinfall losses you'll see Stone Cold take for another 3 years. And he comes out at the end while everybody's celebrating in the ring just to get a little more heel heat on him. Yeah. And because in America, that's going to play as babyface. And it gives the Hearts that last moment in the ring. I think this is the last time they're all in the ring together like this, too.
Wow.
So, because Owen doesn't go to WCW.
Right.
So, with their parents and all that stuff in Calgary,
Because this is a month before SummerSlam. So then it's, what, like 6 months before Survivor Series or 8 or something?
No, it's like 4 months.
Wow, goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like Brett's going to win the world title from The Undertaker.
Even Jesus Christ, even that. Like, it's not just Brett flipping out when he loses the belt to Sid. It's like, here, I'm going to handcraft the greatest fucking heel character ever, put it on a goddamn silver platter, and give it to you, Vince. Here you go. Like,
I will say, I think the Hart Foundation is so criminally underrated simply because they weren't around very long.
Yeah, it's too brief.
But they gave so many moments. Like when
Brett in a wheelchair.
when Owen hugs Brett to like reconcile and Brett looks at the camera.
Yes. And totally does that like that Eddie Kingston shit-eating evil.
Like he's more evil than Owen could ever dream of being.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's so many great moments from this run, and Brett's injured for part of it. Like, he doesn't even wrestle for like 2 months, and he's still the most interesting person on the show.
So what I'm getting is that the next spinoff is going to be called Brett and Barry, and it's going to be you and I talking about Bret Hart and Barry Windham and how much we love them.
Dude, that sounds like a dream podcast. I would fucking do that in a heartbeat.
That you'll be on it.
Well,
all right. That's Canadian Stampede. Oh, wait, no. Bye.